Day 273 for the vlog. Day rating is a 7. I started out with a late walk with a pup. I had the alarm go off at 6:30 or 7. I just turned it off and I was like, I just want to rest. Unless the pup needs to go out and wakes me up, then we'll go. We slept into about 8:45 and I was like, okay, we gotta get up and walk. So we got up, walked, and it's nice to go out almost at a later time because we're the only ones out there walking. It was still a little bit chilly. I probably should have brought a jacket. I was like, nah, it looks sunny. It doesn't look like a breeze. But it got a little chilly in the shade. We came back, gave the pup some food. And she ate it kind of quick. She didn't really eat yesterday. She had a couple snacks. She over here again on the bed. She had a couple snacks and just didn't have a big appetite, I guess. I don't know. She seems fine now. She ate really well today. And then I had my friend that mentioned yesterday about wanting to go for an 11-mile run. And they said they were going to go out that night. So they weren't 100% sure about today. And so I was like, you know what? I don't want to chance it and leave it up to the last minute and have them bail. And so I'm going to go out and run a decent 5-mile run. And if by chance they call, then we'll go. And 5 miles is enough to get a run in without it being too taxing. So we did 5 miles. And I was going to check the pace. I felt a little sluggish in the first mile. I think because yesterday I did the 10, so that next one's always a little bit low. And I probably didn't hydrate nearly as much as I should have. But let's see what we're at here. It's loading. Again, taking its time. Come on. There we go. Okay, first mile, 8:07, 7:25, 7:23, 7:19, 7:05. I didn't realize that last mile was a low 7, which is good. And I didn't walk the pup that one. She felt like I know she had the food, and so I was like, I don't want to run her and have her puke it up. Try to give her at least a few hours before when she eats and running. And so got the run in solo, then showered, had a little breakfast smoothie. I had some chicken, just some popcorn chicken, just to have something with protein in my stomach, with the protein shake. I knew that would be a little bit more filling, so I could get through the next day part. And then right around then, my friend had texted me, Helen, and said, hey, I'm still good for 6 o'clock if you are. I'm like, let's do it. 6 o'clock. Meet you at the park. So just kind of hung tight till then and just tried to hydrate. And that was pretty much it. Try to relax the rest of the day. Put a couple little clothes, a couple little things away. And then did half the push-ups. Was trying to go to the gym even here, and it just got pushed back, and I was like, okay, I can go in for like a half hour, I can go in for 50 minutes, I can go in for 10 minutes, and I just, no, if I go, I'm gonna be late. So just went straight to the park, and we pretty much pulled in right at the same time, and like, all right, well, let's go. And we did a light leg warm-up, some leg swings, some kind of active stretching, so not static. And then we talked a bit like, what's the goal for the day? And they said okay, so week, the week before, they ran 10 miles. They said that every week they're trying to bump it up a mile every 2 weeks. And so last time they said they had gotten to 8 and then kind of walked the last 2 miles because their legs were just really hurting. They said, I think it was the quads and then their feet were hurting. So I said, all right, Helen, was it like the shoes? Was it your pace? What kind of pain was it? She's like, I was just sore, just tired. And I'm like, okay, so your body's just fatigued and probably isn't used to running that long, especially on pavement. So let's take it nice and easy today and start out slow. She's like, oh, start slow. It's like, yeah, start out slow. We can build into it. It's always easier to pick up the pace than start fast and hang on. So I guess we'll do the first kind of half. So the first mile was 11:01, then 11:41, 11:35, 11:09, 11:59 for mile 5. Mile 6 was 11:22. So we were floating around 11:28, 11:30 average, somewhere in there, which is good. Good. And they said that last time they were at 11:32 for the 10 miles. So I tried to go out and just kind of hold pace for her and just run shoulder to shoulder. And we had a couple stops with stoplights or a car coming out, but nothing too bad. And she's like, I'm not a talker. I'm like, oh, geez, I'm going to talk your ear off then. So if you ever want me to stop talking, just say something and put your headphones in. Like, I won't be offended. I know sometimes it's hard for people. So she brought her headset. She didn't end up using them. And she actually was talking half the time as well. So I thought that was really cool. And she's like, wow, I didn't know I could do that. I ran a 3-mile run and I had a hard time talking. So I kind of said, well, if you're running 3 miles, I imagine you can run faster. And she's like, yeah, I was trying to run like 9:30, 9:50 pace. Like, see, that if you're running 11:30 is easy, you're taking like 2 minutes off, you're gonna feel that, and your lungs are gonna feel it, your legs are gonna feel it. I was like, oh my gosh, well, thank you so much. I didn't know I can run and talk. I'm like, you did fine. And I think one of the cool things is right before we started, I had said, I think you're gonna do better than last week. And she's like, yeah, why is that? I said, it's just easier to run in groups. It's easier to run when you have someone to kind of pace you, and having someone there just helps take the mind off how many miles you've gone. And so we just went out running, and we did like a small loop and then a big loop. And I haven't been to this park before, and so I thought the park was a big park. It looked like it on the map. So I thought we were just gonna do like 5 or 6 loops around the park. And we did one out the park, kind of went outside the road, came back in, and then did this like little loop again and said, let's just keep going. Came back, said, all right, let's go this way this time. So we kind of did a bunch of loops from the park, and we did like a circle to the east, circle to the west, circle south, circle north. So it's kind of interesting. And oh my gosh, excuse me. We got to that mile 6, and I said, guess how far we are? And she's like, 4 miles? And I was like, nope. I think we're at 6.4 miles. And she's like, no way. I'm like, yes way. She's like, see, that's how good you're feeling. That's how easy it is when you're with someone. It just, the miles seem shorter, or they go faster, how you want to look at it. So we just kept chugging along, kept talking. We talked about going to college, life, relationships, food. Oh my gosh, what else did we talk about? A little bit of pace, a little bit of running, communication, like past relationship stuff. It was just kind of, I don't know, just something to talk about. we just kept talking. We talked about our family, the holidays. We ran past a couple houses with lights on it, and we're kind of looking at them for a little bit. So that was kind of fun. And then, that was it. I think it took us... Okay, so the other miles, I believe we got to mile 6. So for mile 7 on, we did 11:27, 12:12, 12:13, 12:11, and then 10:01 for the last mile. And that was because we got to 10.3. I can't remember if Helen had asked or I had asked, but I said, let's just go to this street. I think we can go there, turn around, and come back and be like pretty close. And we had a mile and a half left. So we went down the street. It was about a quarter mile. Crossed the next street, which was about a half mile. Hit the light, turned around, and came back. So that's another half. So we're at 0.75, and we picked it up the last 2.5. Well, no, sorry. We definitely picked up like the last half mile. We got to like 10.3. And she's like, how far are we? I'm like, we're close. She's like, well, how close? I said 10.3. So we have, it was like 10.35. So we have 0.65 left. It's just like, oh, thought we were closer. I'm like, we are close. We're really close. We're within a mile. Hang in there. Stay positive. And she's like, I thought I could be able to sprint the last bit, like the last quarter mile. And so I was like, oh, you got a little bit more left. So she had picked up the pace. She's running really good. Like you could hear her breathing harder for sure. But her stride was still good. She held on real quick. And then we got to a light, had to wait. This light took like 2 or 3 minutes to stop, so it was almost like a recovery. We picked it up again and we had what were we at? 0.35 left, somewhere in there. And so she took off again. I was like, good job, keep it up, stay focused, you got it, hang in there. And I was just trying to be really positive and encouraging, saying, just hang on, you're rolling, keep it up. This is the part where you're at the marathon and the crowd's cheering you in. So she did really good. That's how we got that last mile down to a 10-minute. And then we finished and she was just like, oh my gosh, I can't believe we got it. I can't believe we just did 11 miles and I feel so much better. I don't feel nearly as sore as I was last week, and it was so much faster. And we looked up the pace, and again, her average last week was 10:32 and this week was 10:30. So if you look at, on average, 2 seconds faster every mile, which is pretty cool. And we did like a walk cool down, did some light dynamic work, like walking backwards and then stretching. And then came back, called it a day. And that was it. It was probably 8:30 by then. Excuse me. So we went our separate ways, and I went to the grocery store, grabbed a couple items for dinner, came back, ate food, walked the pup. The pup was excited, so we played for about 15-20 minutes, went for a little walk, and she saw what I was making, and she wanted some, so I gave her a little bit of the dinner. And then she pretty much has been laying down ever since. So I said, all right, let's just go lay down. It's time. I'm tired too. So that was the day. It was a nice running adventure. And thank you, Helen, again for the run. It was great to chat. Great to run. Glad I could help run with you. I know you're kind of gets nervous around some of the night runs. But we did fine. We had found a good little neighborhood. It was quiet. We talked the whole time. It's good. So bravo to you. You did great in 11 miles. Should be a good for 12. So keep it up the good work. And with that, what did we do? We did the 100 push-ups. Those are done. I got the book here. Officially over halfway. On page 153. And I believe we're going to page... Oh my gosh, what page? 1 or 250. Is that right? Oh my gosh. Where? Okay. Go to page 273. There's an addendum, and that's kind of where the addendum is. Excuse me. It looks like it officially ends on 267. So 267 is kind of the final, and we're at 153. So 114 left. 100. Yeah. So there we go. Keep chipping away at it. So that's it for the night. Run your life with health and happiness, and have a good night.